Hey everybody, Michelle with Michelle's Frugal Living here. Thanks for watching my videos. And I wanted to give some tips on having a successful garage sale or yard sale or wherever you want to have your sale at, okay? And this can cover a wide gamut of selling anything, okay? So this past weekend I did have a sale and I actually took my stuff to a street festival, and which I have done. This time I was selling my stockpile items, but, you know, I have with my mother and my aunt, my grandma, we used to make stuff and handcrafted items, and we would sell them at street festivals all the time. I've been doing this all my life, and so I've had a lot of experience in doing stuff like this. I also like to shop at yard sales and go to street festivals and flea markets and stuff like that. So, and since I mentioned it in a couple of videos, I've had some people asking me for tips on having a garage sale. So that's why I thought I'd make a video and talk about things that I believe are important when you're having a sale, okay? And the number one most important thing, in my opinion, is that you have a price set on everything. And not just in your mind, but actually on the item. I price all of my stuff, and it makes such a big difference, and you need to be ready before your sale starts. You know, you can get a price gun. You can buy them on the internet. They're not that expensive. And, or you can print tickets. I do that, you know, buy mailing labels and print off prices. You can go to the Dollar Tree and you can buy, price tickets, you know, however you want to do it. You need to price your items. Okay. That way people are not, constantly have to ask. People are shown a price, and then they can decide whether they're going to buy it. And, you know, having been in both sides of this where I didn't have stuff priced, okay, like some things got skipped, you know, I didn't price this box of stuff, you know, and then you're constantly, people are asking you, or, you know, it just adds to confusion, okay, and it wastes a lot of your time. So it's just easier if people can pick it up, they like the price, and you can add it up and you can move on, okay? You don't want to overprice your items either, because the point of having a sale is you get rid of stuff, okay? So I like to price my stuff to move, regardless of what it is that I'm selling, okay? Yeah, and, you know, to me it's okay if you have, like, a whole bunch of books, like, put a price, 50 cents for the books, and put a sign up so you don't have to physically, you know, label everything like that necessarily. Or like I've done dollar tables, you know, that kind of thing. But you kind of got to keep track of it, because people will move your other stuff over onto the dollar table and then claim that that was over there, or other people just move it around and then someone finds it over there. I've had that happen too. Okay. Second really important thing is that you put everything up on tables, okay? You need to have tables, even if you have to fashion tables out of setting a piece of plywood up on some crates or something like that, because you need to get the stuff off the ground. And, you know, if you think about it yourself, I mean, if something's sitting on the ground, it looks more dirty, okay? It feels dirty to people, and it needs to be up where they can touch it. People aren't going to spend all their time bending over and looking at everything if it's down and sitting on the ground in a box, okay? And which brings me to another point. You need to get it out of the boxes. You need to have it sitting out on a table, displayed nicely, group like things together. So put all the books together, put all your kitchen gadget stuff together, you know, that kind of thing. And make it presentable for people to look at, okay? You don't want to have dirty items either. I have been to too many yard sales where my hands just got dirty touching the stuff, okay? Like, you know, to me, that's just not acceptable at a yard sale. It needs to be clean. Let's see. Yeah, oh, and if you're having an actual garage sale, like in your garage, and you have stuff sitting in your garage that you don't want to sell, you need to indicate that somehow, that, like, put some sheets over it, put a rope up and say not for sale, or block stuff off with your tables and stuff, because I have literally been in people's garages poking around in their stuff that was not part of the yard sale, because it looked like it was, because of the way they had things set up in there. And I'm like, you know, looking at everything, and then they're like, that's not for sale. And I'm like, it looks like it is. Okay, so just be mindful. I mean, I had my garage door open one time when I had a yard sale, and somebody wanted to buy my lawnmower, and they started looking around in my garage, and they were like asking about stuff. So I finally had to close the door because I didn't want all that going on. Okay, I was like, leave that stuff alone. It's not sitting out here for sale. All right, you need to have some money, change. You need to be able to make some change. So pretty much what I always stick with is to have 100 $1 bills and $100 worth of $5 bills and $20 in quarters at least. But if you're doing a whole lot of quarter items, 50-cent items, 75-cent items, you probably need a lot more quarters than that, okay? And if you're doing 10-cent items, then you need to have some nickels and some dimes with you as well, because people are going to hand you a quarter for something that costs 10 cents, and it's going to happen. Because then otherwise you just start giving a lot of stuff away if you don't have the right change, okay? Have a whole bunch of grocery sacks, the plastic grocery bags you get at the store, have them ready to go so people can load them up, all right, and take them. Especially if you're selling stockpile items from couponing. Have bags ready for them, because they're going to buy a lot of little things and they really need to be able to carry it, okay? Away. Advertising. You want to advertise your sale somehow. You need to tell people. Mostly when I have an actual yard sale at my house, I just put a sign out at the end of the street, usually one sign, and I got like 2 places I might put up 2 signs, and then I have one in front of my house, okay, indicating that's the right place. Here's the yard sale. You might think about putting some balloons on your mailbox or on your sign or something to get people's attention. That's the place. I think it's also important to have your stuff set out in the driveway, out in the front yard, where people can see it and not hiding it. If everything's in the garage, people might not necessarily think you're still open or anything. You know, you got to have some stuff out there where people can see it and they feel comfortable pulling in your driveway and stopping and buying some stuff, okay? Because, you know, I saw this yard sale I actually went and stopped at. This was a long time ago, and I don't think I'd do this today. The yard sale was, their garage door was on the back side of their house, so you had to drive around behind, and everything was in their garage, and I was like, they really having a sale? I can't tell. You know, I felt weird driving down these people's, you know, around behind their house. And is it safe? You know, you want to make people feel safe coming to your house. Set your tables up in the shade. You know, I hate it when I go to yard sales and stuff where everything is sitting out in the sun. I don't like standing in the sun, for one thing. And number 2, you know, candles are melting. The stuff is just like, and especially if you're selling coupon stuff, you don't want that stuff sitting out in the sun. Okay. Your soaps and everything, you know, you need to have shade, whether it's through a tent, have it in your garage, on your porch, under a tree, whatever like that. And you need to interact with your customers, talk to them and stuff. You'll sell a lot more stuff if you chit-chat with your people. I just know that, okay? And also, I like to have a little box of free stuff, like maybe to give away to the kids and stuff like that. So, you know, and it just depends. But see, I do a lot of buying at auctions. I just buy box lot at auctions and I sell those. So I end up with lots of random stuff. So I always feel like I have some stuff that I can give away for free. Or you just may have some stuff. I'll have stuff that's priced, you know, on the table, and I will end up giving stuff away to people. I did this past weekend. I just gave stuff to people because they were buying some other stuff. You know, here, just take this too, to get rid of some stuff, you know. So it does some goodwill, and anyways, it makes me feel good too. All right. Yeah, and be ready for people who... There's just these people out there in the world who don't ever want to pay the price that you're asking for something. And so be ready for people that are going to try and make bundles package, and can you give me a break if I buy more, and all this stuff, because let me tell you, I heard it this weekend, you know, and it drives me crazy. It's going to happen. So you need to think about that beforehand. Like if someone was going to come up and ask you, oh, could you give me a price break on that? You know, you just need to be, you know, be prepared to say, no, this is the price I want to sell this stuff at. And especially on your first day of your sale, if that drives me crazy. First thing Friday morning, people are trying to get me to come down on my prices. And I say to these people, well, I'm going to be out here for 2 more days and I just started today. You know, why do I need to give you a price break? You know, I'm sure I can sell this at the price that I have on it. Okay, I know that I can, and therefore I don't need to give this guy a price break. Okay, you know, if somebody's spending $50 with me or something, then we can talk about maybe knocking a couple of bucks off or something like that. It just depends. Okay, so you have to, that's one of those things. Don't just give your stuff away the first day because somebody offers you some money for it. You know, especially like, I mean, I guess it depends on how much you want to get rid of something. So maybe you should have started with a lower price, right? All right. So usually when I have a yard sale, garage sale in my area, they usually run from Thursday to Saturday is when they run around here. So that might be different in your area. So you kind of need to pay attention to what the area you live in, how it works there. In some neighborhoods that have neighborhood associations or something like that, and some cities might have regulations on having yard sales or garage sales. They may not allow it at all. They may not allow you to hang signs up in the neighborhood, that kind of thing. Or you might have to buy a permit. Like, I don't have to do that in my area, so I don't know what that's like to have to do that kind of a thing. But just be mindful of that, and you might you know, talk to your neighbors, especially if you live in one of those neighborhoods that have like a neighborhood association. And it's a really good idea if your neighborhood has a community yard sale where everybody comes out on the same weekend, that you do it with the community so that a lot more people are coming to the neighborhood, and then they're already advertising the yard sale and everything like that. So, all right, I hope that gives you some ideas about having a garage sale. I'll talk to you guys later.